There is a strange mother and daughter in a small town. The mother looks simple and lovely. On the contrary, the daughter is more mature and charming. Although the little girl is only 10 years old, but she has a very deep city. Many men were attracted by the mother's beautiful face, but no one knows that they are angels and demons in disguise. This man is in love with his mother's beauty, but he didn't want to be responsible. So Yulenka asked the man out alone and put a sleeping pill in the kettle for him to drink. When the boat reached the middle of the lake, seeing that no one was around, Yulenka pushed the man into the lake. Afterwards, because the sleeping pills that Yulenka used to stun the man were stolen by a female student she forced to steal, she pushed the girl down the stairs again. The girl's mother went insane afterwards. And all this, no one can suspect a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old girl's body. That day, a new male teacher came to the town. His name was Jack. Yulenka had set her sights on Jack. Yulenka sends flowers to Jack under the guise of her mother. Jack looked around. The little girl's mother was really beautiful. Jack was stunned to see this. But Jack already had a family. On the surface, Jack still hold on, but soon Jack realized the atmosphere in this school is very strange. The students seemed to have some kind of hidden secret. Not only were they fighting openly, and the students who were bullied also chose to keep their mouths shut. Jack was sitting in class wondering, but then he received a note asking for help. There were only a few words on it. "Help us," he asked his classmates, but the girl didn't want to tell him anything. Yulenka here has figured out the teacher's whereabouts. In order to create an opportunity for his mother Anna and Jack, they pretended to meet in the park. Yulenka had deliberately distracted Jack's daughter to create a chance for her mother and Jack to be alone. Looking at such a charming Anna, Jack always reminded himself to restrain himself, not to betray his marriage, and Yulenka watched from a distance. She kept praying that she would be hooked. Anna looked at her daughter and said it wasn't going well, because Jack's wife called to hurry her home. Watching the two men leave and the lonely figure of her mother, Yulenka was furious. Mother and daughter went on a more aggressive attack. Girl wants to find a father for herself. Yulenka sets her sights on the new teacher who has just arrived. Although Jack already had a family, but he can't ignore the charm of Yulenka's mother. In the face of the woman's constant flirtation, this makes Jack's mind wander. Jack accidentally collides with the woman. The fishbowl was knocked over on the dike. In the face of the woman's incessant flirtation, Jack completely fallen. After the incident, Jack left in a hurry. The mother stood on the balcony and watched with reluctance, and all this was seen by Yulenka. So, Yulenka went straight to Jack to show him. She said that her mother needed a husband, and she needed a father. But Jack just wanted to be happy and not responsible, saying that he just made a mistake that all men make, and wouldn't let it stop him, and would not give up his original family. Yulenka smiled wickedly. And since you don't want to choose, then you don't have a choice. That night Jack and his wife were sleeping. The house suddenly burst into flames. The couple woke up their daughter and escaped. By the time the fire was extinguished, the house was already burned down. But that's not all. The next day Jack's wife told him that Yulenka had taken their daughter out to play. Hearing this news, Jack instantly felt that something was wrong. He rushed to the street to look for his daughter. Who had said goodbye to Yulenka. She was coming towards Jack. He thought he was safe, but then a wild dog came out of nowhere. He jumped on his daughter. By the time she was taken to the hospital, daughter has been seriously injured. Seeing his daughter in her present condition, Jack was completely devastated. He knew it was Yulenka's doing, but just then, Yulenka called again to meet with Jack, but that's when he went. Jack had lost everything he had. The girl picks up her clothes and smiles wickedly. Then she screamed. Jack could not say anything, so he was sent to the detention center. Yulenka also paid other students to testify. After all, no one can doubt the words of a 10-year-old. When Jack got out of jail, not only did he lose his job, when he returned home, Jack was completely devastated. The walls were covered with pictures of him and Yulenka's mother in love. As his wife was devastated, he had to take his daughter and leave. Jack knew that Yulenka would never let him go. After all, because of his impulse, he had teased Yulenka's mother. He was about to write a letter of repentance, but the lights in the house suddenly went out. Jack was also knocked unconscious. When he woke up again, Jack was tied to a tree. Yulenka was sitting in front of him. She was telling him the story of her previous killings. Only then did Jack realize Eureka had done all the bad things before. Then a car came slowly. Jack thought it was salvation. Instead, it was destruction. The person who got out of the car, it was the girl's mother. His daughter's death had driven him insane. Under Yulenka's brainwashing, he began to hate his teachers and classmates. The mother obviously didn't come to save him. She came to dissect him. Jack was terrified, but Yulenka lamented, "Who made you not want to be my father?" After Jack's death, Yulenka loaded the gun again. He wiped off his fingerprints and handed it to his classmate's mother, saying that she would be able to see her daughter after she died. The classmate's mother held her daughter's toys before she died. She died peacefully in her bed, but he didn't know. He had finally made a marriage for his enemy. Another perfect murder by a knife. Seeing the body of his classmate's mother, the police guessed that the mother of the classmate killed Jack and then committed suicide. The forensic scientist asked Yulenka for information, but he was fascinated by Yulenka's mother. He was about to leave when he recovered. Yulenka grabbed the forensic scientist's hand. It was clear. The mother and daughter had set their sights on the forensic scientist again. Will he become Yulenka's father? Or will he end up like Jack? Who knows?